Imagine if there was a technique that was a hybrid of a front kick and a side kick. The best of both worlds. You put them together and you can just annihilate people in the midsection. This week, we saw Tawanchai utilize this kick against Superbon to help in his victory. I actually think it played a major part. We are talking about the Thai side kick. Today I'm going to break down 5 reasons this kick is better than the front kick or the side kick and why you should start utilizing it. So in case you missed all the action from last week, Superbon faced Tawanchai. Amazing matchup between 2 Thai fighters at the highest level. I'm gonna put a link up there so you can watch the full fight. And we saw Southpaw Tawanchai utilize his front leg and just blast it in on Superbon so many times. He never was able to deal with it effectively because this kick is so unpredictable, so powerful. There are so many other reasons why I believe you need to use this instead of the front kick or side kick most of the time. Yes, keep those 2 kicks. They're good in certain moments, but this one is the best of both of them. The very first reason that the Thai side kick is better than a side kick or a front kick is it creates the most distance. Of all these strikes with the foot right down the middle, the Thai side kick goes the furthest, which means from further range you can actually land. Let's say I throw my front kick. I pivot correctly and I can just touch the chair. Now from here I take a little step back and I execute my side kick with a big pivot. I can just touch the chair. Now from here I take a little step back, just a tiny one, and now I can execute the Thai side kick. Why is this possible? Number 1, I'm pivoting like a side kick. Full pivot. Number 2, I'm throwing like a front kick with my foot. It's not a side kick where I land with my heel. I'm extending my foot the same way that I would on the front kick. Put those 2 together and now I have the most range. Max range here, max range there, and I can land from these super long distances where people go, oh no, he's out of range for the side kick or the front kick, but then bang, you can still land. And quick pause from the episode, guys, to give a shout out to X Marshall for sponsoring this episode. They have rash guards, they have shorts, they have things like bags for your gear now. This one is super easy to throw everything in, head off to the gym, very comfortable, can fit your shin pads and your gloves all at once and is not too big and cumbersome. You can find a link in the description below and you can use my promo code XMIS to save 15% for the rest of December or Gabriel Varga to save 10% moving into 2024. The next reason I love this kick is it does not leave you feeling defensively compromised. When you throw a side kick, which is the more powerful of a front kick versus side kick, the side kick will be the stronger one. When I throw it, I end up being completely sideways and very often I land in a side stance. When I land in my side stance, I'm going to be very compromised to counter low kicks. I don't like that. I like to be able to start nice and square, throw my kick and finish square so I can get that check off. Defensively, I feel like this is the best kick you can throw. You can get your head way out of range because you're leaning and pivoting so far forward. The more you throw this leg forward, the more the head can go back and you still land ready to deal with any kicks at head level or to check that low kick. Next up, this kick has sliding power. What do I mean by that? Well, on a front kick, when I lift my leg, I don't try and slide forward. I'm gonna end up falling backwards very easy if I do that, especially if I connect with my opponent. I slide and I hit, I'll probably just not get knocked backwards. I can slide on the side kick for sure, but I can also do that on the Thai side kick. So before we were talking about enormous distance, from here I can't side kick, but I can do my Thai side kick, but now I step back a little bit. As I lift my knee up, making it look like a front kick, I slide forward. And now from there I can get myself at this ridiculously long range into striking distance. It works so well. We saw Tawanchai utilize this very nicely against Superbon. The next reason I love this kick is it is hard to see coming. A side kick has lots of power. You can do that slide like we just said, but it's not subtle. You either have to start here or you have to be in this stance and bring your leg way over to the side before you kick. It is slow. And because it's slow, it is harder to land. But this kick, bring it up like a front kick. It's very fast. And the only additional thing we have to do from our front kick, which is speedy, is just turn it over. We create that pivot, we turn our body a little bit, and right about here, we turn sideways. Very fast, very difficult to see coming. And the last reason that I think this kick is the best of both worlds is that it is extremely hard to catch. When you throw a front kick on somebody and they catch, they have your heel. Once they have your heel, it is much more difficult to get out. But on the Thai side kick, as we were just saying, we turn our foot over at the end, so we're in this position now where it's easy to pop it out. And in addition, it's not like a side kick where I've maxed out my distance. I'm landing with my heel and they have my heel. On this one, I'm landing with the ball of the foot. So they have to reach a little bit to get to that heel, which gives me room if I need it to pump my heel in and then make my escape. This one is so much harder to catch. I've hardly ever had anybody grab it. And when I'm on the receiving end of it, I go, wow, that is really hard to get a hold of. So there you have it, guys. 5 reasons why this kick is better than the front kick, better than the side kick, basically hybrid, which makes the ultimate front kick / side kick down the middle. Thai side kick is what I call it. I don't know if that term is correct. It's one that I just kind of stumbled on naming. Maybe other people out there call it this, but I just went, I don't have a name for it. It's kind of like a side kick. It's from Thailand, as far as I know, so let's just call it a Thai side kick. If you have a chance to utilize this, I really suggest you do, because as we saw Tawanchai utilize against Superbon, it makes life very difficult. So let's call it there, everybody. Thank you for joining me. As always, train hard, and I will see you back here soon for another video.